Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing well. This week's episode of Top Knockouts, episode 13, a series that is all about gratitude, if we really think about it, because we have jobs, and we might some days feel like our job sucks, our job is tough, and on days like that, all we have to do is we take a few steps back. We reflect on our situation, and we will come to the realization that it could get way worse. Because whenever we make mistakes, we might end up getting sent home. When these people make mistakes, they get sent to an entirely different place. A realm where the physical doesn't exist. They go on a spiritual adventure, and believe me, it's not the type you would want. When we make mistakes, the consequences might be that we get shouted at. When they make mistakes, they become a part of a highlight reel for the whole world to see. So I'm just saying, perspective goes a long way. Now, if you were ever at work, you ended up making a mistake, your boss shouts at you, somebody videotapes it, and you get knocked out, then forget everything I just said. We might end up showing you to the UFC people and saying, believe it or not, it could get way worse. And if you're new to Top Knockouts, what I do is prior to every fight night event, prior to every pay-per-view event, I look at all of the fighters on the main card of that event. I look at their best knockout wins within the UFC. They only get one, and then I basically just rank it from number 5 to number 1. Fairly simple. Now, before I get into a video, just a reminder, if you enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. That'd be awesome. You're awesome. Let's go. So starting off this week's list, at number 5, Cody Brundage versus Zachary Reese. Now, if ever there was a year that best described Cody Brundage's UFC career, it would be 2023. Because in 2023, Cody Brundage ended up losing twice and winning twice. 50-50. Lost to Rodolfo Vieira, lost to Cedric Dumas, and then ended up beating Jacob Malkoun via DQ. And on the 2nd of December 2023, Cody Brundage fought Zachary Reese. And in the first round, ended up taking down Zachary Reese, started with ground and pound, but in the blink of an eye, Zachary Reese caught on to a triangle choke. Cody knew that the situation was dire. So what did he decide to do? He decided to pick up Zachary Reese and Batista bomb his ass. Slammed him to the ground, knocked him out. Cody, not being sure that Zachary is in fact knocked out, proceeded to be sure, be safe. And knocked out Zachary Reese cold. An insane knockout for Cody Brundage. I would love to tell you about the technicality that goes into it, but then I would be lying. Brute force had Cody Brundage basically somewhat deadlift Zachary Reese, only to drop him on his head. And yeah, this is why you watch Cody Brundage fights. Because for better or for worse, you might end up seeing something you have never seen before, apart from movies. Cody Brundage versus Zachary Reese, that's at number 5. Then at number 4, Cody Garbrandt, here we go with the Codys. Cody Garbrandt versus Rafael Assuncao. Now, Cody Garbrandt started his UFC career on a 6-fight winning streak, which ended with him beating Dominic Cruz to become the bantamweight champion of the UFC in a fight where it looked like Cody Garbrandt was in the Matrix. There are few, if any, better title performances than Cody Garbrandt's performance in his win against Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz, by the way, who is regarded as either the best or second best bantamweight of all time. But then it kind of went tits up for Cody. Because after beating Dominic Cruz, he defended his belt against TJ Dillashaw, he lost. And then he rematched Dillashaw, he lost again. And then he fought Pedro Munoz, he lost again. But then Cody somewhat turned it around. Because on the 6th of June 2020, Cody Garbrandt fought Rafael Assuncao and ended up delivering one of the best, if not the best, walk-off KO you will ever see in your life. Because it basically went off simultaneously with the buzzer signaling the end of the second round. A right hook from Cody Garbrandt, which sent Rafael Assuncao on a spiritual journey. And Cody knew Rafael was knocked out, didn't even think of following it up. He knew as he walked off that Rafael Assuncao was knocking on heaven's door. Now, obviously, thankfully, Rafael Assuncao recovered and it was just a knockout. An insane right hook from Cody Garbrandt, walk-off KO, one of the best, if not the best ever. Insane. It's a number 4 on this list. Then at number 3, Rose Namajunas versus Weili. Now Rose has a 6-fight streak inside of the UFC that will be edged and carved into UFC lore forever. And it started in 2017 when Rose Namajunas ended up beating Joanna Jędrzejczyk and ended up putting a halt to Joanna's 8-fight winning streak inside of the UFC. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who by the way might be one of the top 5 best women fighters of all time. Not only that, Rose ended up defending her belt against Joanna and won in the rematch. After that, Rose Namajunas fought Jessica Andrade, lost her belt because she got dunked on her head. Ended up rematching Jessica Andrade, but at that time Jessica Andrade then lost her belt to Weili. Rose ended up beating Jessica Andrade and then was scheduled to fight Weili on the 24th of April 2021. And 1 minute and 15 seconds into this fight, into this title fight, Rose Namajunas ended up throwing and landing a left head kick, which sent Zhang to the canvas. Rose capitalized and ended up winning the fight in a moment which also would probably be edged into UFC lore forever. And it's not because people hated Weili. This was once again a showcase of how insane Rose Namajunas at her peak is. Because Weili, prior to losing to Rose Namajunas, has only lost once ever. And prior to losing to Rose, she's never lost inside of the UFC. Right now, Weili has had 12 fights within the UFC. She's lost to one person, Rose, both times. That's how good Rose was. That's where people started to fall in love with Rose Namajunas, and not in the same way Pat Barry did. Now, 2 lessons that we could take out of this. Number 1, if you're on a winning streak, avoid Rose Namajunas, because she ended Joanna's winning streak, she ended Weili's winning streak. Number 2, if you're fighting Rose Namajunas, and as you're about to get introduced by Bruce Buffer, you hear Rose Namajunas from the other side of the octagon telling herself she's the best.
Martial artist holding national record, 10 wins, 4 losses.
Turn around, walk home. You're not winning that fight. An insane left head kick from Rose Namajunas has her at number 3 on this list. Then at number 2, and this is probably the most difficult one because this was either number 1 or it was number 2. It's because it was a title fight. It's because of the opponent, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. Now, I don't want to make it bigger than it already is, but Kamaru Usman has had one of the best careers ever within the UFC, one of the best careers ever had, one of the best careers ever to have inside of the UFC. And it started with Kamaru going on a 15-fight winning streak. The only people that have accomplished this: Anderson Silva, Islam Makhachev. That's it. In 2019, Kamaru Usman became the welterweight champion by beating Tyron Woodley, putting a whooping on Tyron Woodley. A Tyron Woodley, by the way, who a lot of people thought could be a challenger to GSP and his incredible run inside of the welterweight division. Kamaru said, hold up, I'll be that challenger. Ended up beating Tyron Woodley in 2019, defended his belt against Colby Covington in 2019 as well. In 2020, defended his belt against Jorge Masvidal. 2021, he ended up defending his belt against Gilbert Burns and once again Jorge Masvidal. And it was in the second fight, in the second minute of the second round, where Kamaru Usman ended up landing a straight right which knocked out Jorge Garbrandt Masvidal. And it felt like this was personal, because in the lead up, in the build up to this fight, Jorge Masvidal said that in their previous fight for the belt, Jorge was on short notice. He didn't have a training camp. So if he had the preparation he needed, he would be able to beat Kamaru Usman. And he said Kamaru had pillow hands, and Kamaru won't be able to knock him out. Kamaru Usman knocked out Jorge Masvidal as soon as that he knocked him out so hard it started to rain. The sweat, an iconic photo of the sweat that came off of Masvidal's head as Kamaru Usman landed that straight right. Insane. An insane knockout. Jorge Masvidal prior to that has never been knocked out in his life and is considered to have one of the strongest chins inside of the UFC. Kamaru Usman with his pillow fists said, I'm gonna put him to bed. I'm gonna put him to sleep. He will rest on these hands. And knocked Jorge Masvidal out. An insane knockout for Kamaru Usman. That is why it's at number 2 on this list. And what tops this? Probably one of the best knockouts of all time. Visually. Joaquin Buckley versus Impa Kasanganay. Now Joaquin Buckley made his debut in 2020 and fought Kevin Holland and ended up losing. Got dominated by Kevin, got knocked down twice and ended up losing via KO. Then Joaquin Buckley decided he is going to take out his revenge on somebody else. That somebody else, Impa Kasanganay, because on the 10th of October of the same year, Joaquin Buckley fought Impa Kasanganay, and in the 3rd minute of the 2nd round, Joaquin Buckley decided he is going to throw a left head kick. Impa caught it, and as soon as Joaquin decided that he is going to attempt what he ended up executing, everyone thought, yeah right, yeah, you're not that guy, pal, and executed a spinning back kick which knocked out Impa Kasanganay, knocked him out clean like a pillar, basically getting pushed over. Joaquin Buckley executed that kick and everybody lost their minds. Honestly, visually, one of the best knockouts you will ever see in the sport, not in the UFC, in the sport of mixed martial arts. Nobody attempts this because your chances of landing a kick, landing this kick is basically 0. And Joaquin Buckley executed it. An insane knockout for Joaquin Buckley. That is why I think this will be number 1 on basically almost every single knockout list ever. That's how good this was. And that's why it's number 1 on this list. Now that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section, do you agree with the order? Did I miss out on any knockout? I would really appreciate that. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in the next one.